The Pokemon world is full of many regions that have their own unique charm, everything from the look and feel to their culture and lore. Each region also has its fair share of story and underlying mystery. Traversing these fantastical areas can leave you discovering so much about the Pokemon world. Every new place has something new to offer. The Pokemon world's regions also offer a varied geography. We've seen regions that conjoin, stand alone, and have some greater unexplored area, and even exist as an archipelago. Wherever you are in the Pokemon world, you're bound to find something exciting to immerse yourself in. Ever since Fakemon were being created, we also saw alongside them the many regions created for them to live in. In my time creating Fakemon, I have made 2 regions that I have come to adore, and today I want to let you know how easy it is to make your own regions. Let's get started. Step 1. Deciding your basis. By this I mean deciding which real-life location you want to base your region on. Many people decide to base their regions on whole countries or states and provinces. I like to use landmark locations like famous mountains, lakes, coasts, or jungles. For Rata Race, I decided on basing it around a mountain in New Zealand's North Island, known as Mount Ruapehu. For Feligo, I decided to base it around the Spanish Central East coast. You can really base your own region on just about anything. Even if you decide on a location that seems obscure in the real world to thrive a community within, you can make it happen in the Pokemon world. Step 2. Establishing your setting. Once your region's basic geography has been mapped out, it's time to move on to the terraforming stage. You'll need to zone your region and decide on climates that suit each zone. Normally in the real world, weather fluctuates and changes with time, though in the Pokemon world, many regions have infinite weather patterns and climates depending on the area. We've seen in Pokemon Black and White that there are seasons, though for the majority of the other regions, weather is a static thing. Most regions have a wintry area, a summery area, a place where it's usually raining, and a desert. You could even add some dimension to your region and establish zones that are underwater or in the sky. It all depends on how you want to build your region. Because my Rata Rays region is on a volcano, the land is consistently dry and red, but the region is also, oddly enough, a floating hump of land in a pocket in ultra space. Yeah, I went all out on this one. So personally, I haven't stuck to these guidelines, but it doesn't mean you have to either. You can do whatever you want, though for more realistic settings, these guidelines are a good start. I use these for the Feligo region. Step 3. Culture. Once your world has been geographically crafted to your liking, it's time to make moves on the things that give your region character. I like to use the word culture because it can mean so much and it fits with what I'm talking about. We've seen in the past 22 years, Pokemon regions have a certain culture which influences things like the architecture, celebration and events, the region's rite of passage for trainers, examples are gyms and island trials, and the types of people that form your region's community. I like to start off by drafting what the buildings look like and what types of clothing people wear. This sort of detail will help you become acquainted with your region and will help you bring it to life when you write stories for it, create the cast of your trainers, and of course design the Fakemon that inhabit it. Step 4. Stories and lore. This is my favorite part of creating a region, and it's the final fundamental step before you begin making the Fakemon for your region. It's one thing to have a detailed and intricately designed region with an interesting geography and awesome sights to behold, but the region is not really complete until you have fleshed it out with your primary cast of trainers and the lore canon. By this I mean creating the main people who are notable in your region. This can be and is not limited to gym leaders or whichever people run the rite of passage, your main characters, basically the player characters, their friends they made along the way, the Pokemon professor of your region, the evil team, and even the good team. Well, the sort of good team. And other notable figures that have key roles in your region's storylines or have connections to the lore that builds your region's history. If you have an interesting history about your legendary Pokemon, then who was it that discovered it or actively studies it? That's an example of the sorts of things you should be asking yourself when fleshing out your region. The second part of this is your region's lore. The lore is essentially the history and mythology that instigates anything from major plot lines, character motivations, or just water cooler conversation. I hope this little how-to helped you in creating your own region. Remember that all of the fleshing out and attention to detail is just a suggestion. It can help with remaining consistent and creating Fakemon that will work well in the world that you build for them. You can take these steps as little or as far as you want. The important thing when creating a region is that you have fun doing it. If you want to know how to start designing the Fakemon for your region, be sure to see my other video on that, which could serve as a sequel to this one here. Remember to leave me a like if you enjoyed the video, and if it helped you, subscribe to my channel for more Fakemon and Pokemon related content, and have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Minus. End of video. Minus.